Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Bright Side. This is the fourth episode of the show that focuses solely on positivity, happiness, brightness, and everything in between. This is a podcast where you can log on to it, click on it, and know that it is just full of positivity and no bad news allowed. Of course, I'm your host, Katie Inman, and I am joined with my partner in positivity, Shelby Wright. Here we are.
Hello.
Yes, Shelby. Shelby, of course, is punching the button. She's making sure everything pops up on screen while we are talking. She is the brains behind everything, and she is a digital producer. So that is why she is here with us. Today on the show, we're going to talk about a lot of different things, from a family who has a child who found his voice and then them wondering how long they're going to be able to hear that voice, to a kid who hit a hole-in-one with his hobby. And we also have an update on an owl rescued by a Knox County deputy that we told you about last episode. And of course, we got to sneak in some good Vols news too. So that's what's on the docket today. A lot of stuff scheduled. But first, let's start off with Shelby. What is something good going on in your life this week? First of all, I love your shirt. I think that's perfect for the vibe of the show.
Thank you. Let's see. This week, something really good that happened. I was really into Greek mythology this week. I saw The Odyssey with some friends, and then I saw the pro shot of Hadestown.
Oh my god.
So that was very good. I went with some friends, got some dinner. It was just a really fun little weekend.
So where was that? Where was Hadestown at?
Hadestown is showing in theaters. They're like London 2025. They filmed it on camera, and it like, you know how Hamilton did for Disney Plus. That's what they're doing, and they released it in theaters. And so I went and saw it with one of our producers, Kira.
Oh, nice.
Because her and I are musical theater nerds.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I really want to see the Odyssey too. Did you see it in IMAX?
No, I saw it regular, for the bit.
Yeah.
It was really good, though.
Yeah, okay, cool, good. I know, I want to go see that, too. Well, I was also involved in some culture, I guess you could say. On Friday, I actually got to go see at Oak Ridge Playhouse the play that I had highlighted a few weeks ago, Come From Away. That is a show that's about 9/11, the planes that had to get diverted to this place in Newfoundland, that's in Canada, if you didn't know, and how the community accepted those people on the plane, how the people on the plane, they really integrated for a couple of days into that. But it's a comment on wrapping your arms around other people, even if they're not, from the same place as you. And we really enjoyed it. And they did such a good job at the Oak Ridge Playhouse. So.
Oh, yeah, they always do great.
I know it's not showing anymore, so I would say go see it. But it was sold out whenever we went, but that was really good. And I've just been enjoying spending time with friends and family. Can never take that for granted. So, all right. So now that we've sort of caught up and brought you up to speed on things going on in our sphere, let's talk about some stories that have made us smile. And these two stories in particular, as soon as we showed them, I messaged Shelby. I'm like, we have to show these on the podcast. So this first one is one that legitimately made me cry on our noon show on Channel 10. Sarah Ottman put together a story about an eye gaze device that is helping an East Tennessee 5-year-old be able to communicate with his family. And get your tissue box ready, because I think you're going to need it.
Do you want bubbles, Jackson?
For 5-year-old Jackson Cummings, a look can say a lot. What he can't express with his voice or his hands, he communicates with his eyes.
Right, he's looking. He grabbed it. We went up. Yeah, bubbles.
Jackson was born unable to speak and with limited motor control. He has a rare chromosomal duplication called 22q13.
He's really strong. He's definitely a fighter.
His mother, Jennifer, says only about 20 people with the condition have been documented.
His personality is big.
It affects his hearing, vision, movement, and development, but not his desire to be understood.
He definitely wants his voice to be heard.
Yeah, I am.
Let me turn the thing on.
This Tobii Dynavox eye gaze device is allowing his family to hear it. A camera follows Jackson's eyes across the screen. When he holds his gaze on a picture, the device speaks the word he selected.
Go.
At his very first appointment, Jackson repeatedly selected build blocks together.
What are you doing?
An invitation to play a game he frequently did with his sister.
His expression when he was selecting it was like, I did that.
I just said that. They know what I'm saying.
To Jackson's bedroom.
But while the words belong to Jackson, the device does not. He's only trialing the system. Jennifer says insurance has not agreed to cover one for him.
Jackson just recently found his voice and is starting to communicate with us through it, which is something that we were told he probably wouldn't be able to do. And it breaks my heart to think that that could be taken away from him.
It just makes me feel so sad that, like, he could lose this opportunity. Jackson is a very special child. My family is working hard for Jackson. Okay. Oh, was that him?
Jackson already knows what he wants to say. What his family doesn't know is how long they'll be able to hear it.
Do it when the button's attached.
So, of course, after watching that story, I'm like, I want to talk to the insurance company right now and tell them that they have to cover this for this little boy. And a lot of people at home thought the same thing. Sarah actually sent us an email. Shelby, I don't know if you saw it or not, but she said that possibly a family might be chipping in to donate one of these eye gaze devices to them. And if it all works out, that's going to be a great follow-up.
That's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
So we are, of course, if in that story too, you saw some of those bracelets and things like that said Jackson's Crew. Well, guess what? You can buy some of those things and support this family through what they're going through. So they do have a website, and in our story on WBIR.com, we have a link to where you can go buy those things and support that family. And maybe you can pull some strings and help this family in different ways too. So that was just something that touched my heart a lot this week. And so thank you to Sarah Ottman for bringing us that. And side note, she is going to work in Tampa now. So that's also a bright thing. Go Sarah. She's going to be in a sunny state. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. This next story is a story that Lauren Levitt brought us this week. Another local one. We love shining a spotlight on local stuff too. But Lauren introduces us to a young East Tennessee boy who has really hit a hole-in-one with his hobby. And he is a pretty good golfer at just 6 years old.
This is what a usual day looks like for RJ Mathis.
I got my 60. I got to get 3 in a row before I move on.
He's just been really focused, really putting in a lot of work. We're here at the course more than we are anywhere else. And so it's been really neat to see his hard work pay off.
That constant practice has got the 6-year-old to a state title, but his journey started long ago.
I could play since I could barely crawl.
People ask if we are a golfing family. We are not. I grew up close to a golf course, but I never had the patience for it. Really, I got into golf around the pandemic. I used to have to just set him down and I would run away and watch him while he would crawl to me like to take his shot.
From plastic clubs to real ones.
Since those 3 were good, I get to keep going.
RJ's skills and determination have led him to compete on the world stage.
I just really like it because it's fun to have the pressure. It makes me feel like I want to practice more because then I feel like I'd be ready for the next one.
Focus, consistency, and keeping a positive attitude are all things he credits for his success.
If you're struggling in golf, maybe you could focus on practicing a little bit more and try to have positive attitude with it.
While he's still years away from reaching his ultimate goal,
to get a career Grand Slam and just play at the Masters.
Each win gets him a step closer and allows him to put his hometown in the spotlight.
The ability to represent East Tennessee at this level is a tremendous honor. I know he does not take it for granted, and it's something that he wears as a badge of honor.
I don't know if RJ's really 6. I think he might be 36 just by the way that he carries himself and talks and how talented he is. But what is super cool, I'm going to have to read the exact name of this because I'm not a huge golf gal, but he is going to compete in the sub-regional for drive, chip, and putt. And if he advances on to the finals, he and other finalists will get to open at the Masters.
Wow.
And whenever I was 6 years old, you know what I was doing? I was probably like, eating crayons or something, I don't know. I was definitely not trying to play my hand at a national title or a national stage. No.
That's awesome.
But, I love to cheer on local people. So we are hoping that one day we can be cheering him on from the Masters like he said that he wanted to do. So you go, RJ. Man, that's so awesome. And I looked it up, and his dad, Rob, he went to the University of Tennessee. So truly local. There you go. Yeah.
Go Vols.
Well, go Vols. That's right. And that is a perfect segue because after the break, we are going to be talking about some Vols news. But not only that, we are going to be bringing you some positive animal news and some law enforcement positive moments that have popped up on social media. Stay with us. Welcome back to the bright side. Well, now that we are back with you, we want to share some positive animal news that's been happening here locally and regionally. And we want to start with a new baby penguin. Okay, the Tennessee Aquarium in Chattanooga, they posted that they have a brand new bundle of joy born June 25th. And this penguin, he is growing very fast, does not have a name yet, but they did give some cool stats about this penguin. They said that whenever this penguin first hatched on June 25th, that he weighed around, size of a D battery. But just in a matter of 26 days, he grew to over 2 kilograms. And I was thinking, it's hard for me to visualize stuff like that or think about how that would relate. Well, they did the math for us, thank goodness. They said that is a 1,700% increase from the time that he hatched to 26 days later. That would be the equivalent of a 6-pound baby growing to more than 100 pounds in the same time span.
Oh my God. That's insane.
I know. Because they said that the reason that they grow so much so fast is because usually penguins, they have to get ready for that Arctic temperature.
Mm-hmm.
They got to build all of that weight up so that they're protected against all that cold. But of course, this one's at the Chattanooga Zoo, but genes are genes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to see what they name this little baby penguin.
That's so exciting. He's so cute and fluffy, and I did not know they grew that fast.
I know.
It's a little scary.
I know. Shelby's the one who put that one on my radar, and I was just so grateful. So the Tennessee Aquarium, they've been posting pictures, Facebook, Reels, and all of that stuff if you want to go get your eye on it. They call him their newest bundle of floof. So very cute.
Great.
All right. Well, talking about bundles of floof, this next story is an update actually to one that we brought you last episode. So we told you that the Knox County Sheriff's Office Deputy Dalton Swanger, he was the deputy who was injured while on duty and while they were filming for On Patrol Live, he got hit in the back of the head with an object and he got a traumatic brain injury, and then since then has been trying to recover. He has had multiple surgeries in like the throat area and all that stuff, and so he's been battling his own recovery journey. And then he rescued this owl that had gotten hurt, had gotten hit by a car, and he got in touch with the Owl Ridge Raptor Center, and that owl is continuing to recover, and he posted on his Facebook page, which it's public. You can go and look at all these posts yourself too, but he has been going to visit the owl, and he has named the owl Doug the Determined. I don't know if he named the owl that or if Owl Ridge Raptor Center named the owl that, but I think that is very appropriate. Mm-hmm. He relates a lot to this owl. we were able to get body camera footage of the moment that the owl was rescued. And it is so cute to see because there's like 6 deputies out there that are dealing with this owl. It was like at 2 a.m. And, you know, they're trying to figure out, okay, the owl's just sort of sitting there. You see it there in the middle of the road. They get it in a box and then they strap it into the car. And you can hear Deputy Springer saying like, oh, I relate, you know, I relate to you, buddy. And that's because he's had a traumatic brain injury too. But yeah, he posted on Facebook that he is actually sponsoring this owl's recovery.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, because he relates to this owl so much. He sees so much of him and his journey in this owl. And so he's visiting Doug the Determined. And he's continuing on his recovery, visiting Doug. He said that the Owl Ridge Raptor Center also said that Doug is recovering really well. Like, they can tell that he's showing signs of improvement, and they're doing neurological tests on him and all that stuff. So
yeah,
there you go.
I love that. And I love how it took like 6 officers to rescue an owl. None of them knew what to do. They were like borderline afraid of it. It's so funny.
Well, it's like, how often do you come upon an owl? And they said too that it was pretty young. Also, they could tell because of like the feathers and stuff on its head. I've learned a lot about owls, you know, just by reading all of these posts. But man, we'll continue to keep you updated about Doug there. Speaking of law enforcement too, you know that these videos that pop up on social media that are all these sweet law enforcement moments. Well, there is one that the Blount County Sheriff's Office posted, and it is a special Army homecoming. So we're going to show you that video. Basically what's happening here is Army Specialist Ryan Butler, the Sheriff's Office says that he pulled a hijinks of the best kind on his parents. Basically, he's been deployed, and he created sort of like the best homecoming that his family could have ever asked for, because he surprised his father, who is Lieutenant Brad Butler. His son had just returned to Maryville after a deployment to the Middle East, and he pulled a fast one on both of his parents. So he surprised his mom first, and then him and his mom were able to go and visit his dad and surprise him. So that's why there was a video, because it was like, how's he going to react? And of course, every military homecoming you've probably ever watched, you're like bawling your eyes out.
Oh yeah.
That's a slippery slope to go down to whenever you're scrolling. But you can just see the shock on that dad's face. And I saw someone comment on that reel too. They said that is probably the first like deep exhale that dad has had since, you know, his son has been deployed, because you always got to be so scared. Yeah. All right, another sweet law enforcement moment. This one, we're taking you to Dandridge. That's my hometown. So we love to shine the spotlight on that. But the police department there, they were able to go and hang out with some kids at Dandridge Elementary School. And it's the kids who are in the School Age Child Care Program, or SACC. So they do some stuff during the summer. But the officers got to go and bring Canine Raven, answer some questions. They even enjoyed some sweet treats later on in the afternoon, too. So we just love to see anytime that people who are in an authority position, or who may be, you know, in some of those roles that kids might be scared of, like coming to sort of break down that barrier. I think that's always great. So you go, Dandridge, you do that. Okay, the next piece of this, I think more and more people are talking more and more about the Vols and UT, because football season is literally right around the corner. It's going to be here before you know it. You know, Thomas, my boyfriend, told me yesterday, he's like, we are in the worst time of year for sports right now, because there's nothing on. Yeah. There's nothing going on. Besides baseball. I mean, there's always baseball happening, I think. But, you know, the World Cup's over. Football hasn't started back up yet. So all eyes are on football and previewing that. One great thing that happened last week, not too long ago, was that an East Tennessee teen got her wish granted in the biggest of orange ways. Here's Lauren Davis with that story.
For Bailey Phillips,
it was really amazing.
A trip to Neyland Stadium became the experience of a lifetime. The teen was diagnosed with cystinosis at birth and even needed a kidney transplant a few years ago. Through Make-A-Wish East Tennessee, Bailey spent 2 days behind the scenes with Tennessee athletics, meeting coaches and players, helping paint the checkerboard end zones, directing the Pride of the Southland Band, and much more.
I was just really happy.
That special weekend is now featured in ESPN's My Wish series. Make-A-Wish East Tennessee President and CEO Garrett Wagley says Bailey's story represents exactly what the organization hopes to give children facing critical illnesses.
She was going through an illness and had to wait about 2 years for her health to get to a position where we could grant this wish, and in September she got to go to a UT game and had just an incredible experience for 2 days.
Bailey's grandfather, John Rosser, says the experience gave the family something they hadn't had in years.
This one day, there was no sickness to worry about, no pains to worry about. Just be happy, and she was happy. And everybody at UT, I want to say publicly, was phenomenal.
He says watching the ESPN feature brought those memories rushing back.
A lot of tears are running out of my eyes, but it brought out back some very good memories of what she was able to go through.
He says Bailey's strength has inspired everyone
I'm
around her.
so proud of her and what she has done and how she has fought this fight that a lot of people would give up.
Bailey hopes others see something bigger than football in her story.
That you can do anything with God.
How incredible is she? And that whole situation. I mean, it has been almost a year since that moment, and she still just had the biggest smile on her face. She probably relives that day over and over again. But she was actually the first child from this Make-A-Wish chapter to be featured on ESPN's My Wish series.
Wow.
So that is cool in itself. I know. And a lot of time, these kids who get wishes granted, they're going through such a hard time. So for Make-A-Wish to be able to make this possible, and UT, I mean, the players, coaches, all those people who made time for her, it's going to make her life,
No, that's so awesome.
I love it. And then also, if you're really getting excited for football season 2 and you're looking forward to it, well, you're going to love this because the Vol players, very recently, they actually went and did a meet and greet at a Food City in West Knoxville not too long ago, and they invited fans to come out, and the fans come out, they did. They wrapped around the store. Our sports team was there to capture it, and they were able to sign autographs and get to talk to fans, and they say that it was just such a cool opportunity to be able to do that and to see how people love the Vols so much, which they do.
Oh,
they do.
Yeah.
But the Vols football season actually opens in Neyland Stadium very soon. That's September 5th. That game's at 3:30. They're playing Furman. So, Shelby, I know you're a UT grad.
Yeah,
so
I am.
really excited.
I'm excited. I got some games planned to go to now that I'm getting, off weekends.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Wait, breaking news.
I know,
didn't know
breaking
that.
news.
When is that happening?
In a few weeks.
Oh,
so,
man.
yeah, I've done my time about a year.
Yeah.
And so I'll be able to actually go to some football games again.
That's a bright thing for
Yes,
sure. I will
definitely
never
is.
forget whenever I got off weekends, you don't know what to do with yourself for a while. Yeah. For people at home that don't know, usually whenever you first start out at a new station, you're going to be working weekends. You just sort of accept it. But the people on weekends are great. You're like a little family.
I've loved it.
Yeah. It's like, I'm like, the only bad thing is that it's weekends. And, but the people are great. And it's, nice. But all right. Well, that is sort of a view of different things that have been going on in social media with animals and the Vols. But after the break, we are going to check in with someone who's in my contact list, and we're going to ask him what something positive going on in their life right now is. And this one, it hits a little close to home, actually really close, just beyond this wall. So we'll be right back after this. Welcome back to The Bright Side. Thank you for sticking with us. Well, if you did not know, every day throughout the week on our 4 o'clock show, 10 About Town, I am out and about somewhere different. And chances are the places that I'm out and about is going to feel a lot like a field trip. At least that's what it feels like to me. I go all over the place and I'm always doing positive things. So if you are interested in positive news, which if you're watching this right now, you probably are. Out and About in East Tennessee is also a good thing to go and watch and stream. They drop on Friday evenings after I've wrapped up all of my out and about adventures for the week. But here's a little sampling of what I did last week. On Monday, I was out and about at Medic Regional Blood Center on Ayler Avenue here near the Fort Sanders neighborhood, and I'm here obviously giving blood. It's going great so far. Tyler did a good job getting me all set up here, but right now the incentive that Medic is offering for successful blood donations with them is a Dollywood ticket. On Tuesday, we were out and about in Northwest Knoxville at the McNabb Center. We are here because they are doing their Christmas in July toy drive right now. On Wednesday, I was out and about at the Teacher Supply Depot in Cedar Bluff. This is a space that caters to teachers all year long. Even in the summer, they've been open on Tuesdays to allow teachers to come and shop for different school supplies to stock their classrooms. On Thursday, I was out and about in downtown Clinton because they're getting ready for Christmas in July themselves. On Friday, I was out and about in East Knoxville at Chilhowie Park, and this place is buzzing with lines of cars and plenty of bags chock full of school supplies. All right, there you go. There was a little snippet. There's obviously a longer version on our YouTube channel and also our WBIR streaming app. You can watch that on your smart TV for free if you're interested, or you don't want to watch necessarily the full 4 o'clock hour every week. I gotcha. You can just watch the fun stuff that I do. Well, we are going to end the show with a fan favorite segment. I don't actually know if it's a fan favorite, but it's fun for me to sort of, I call it positivity calling, and I call someone in my contacts list and I ask them about something positive that's going on in their life and ask them to give some advice for people about how to look on the bright side of things. So today we are calling Miss Alyssa Stoney. She actually is an executive producer here at WBIR Channel 10, but she's also one of my close friends, and she just got back from a trip. So I thought, okay, you have plenty of positivity to talk about. So I'm going to call her and hopefully she picks up. I gave her a heads up, but hopefully she's not super busy. She's actually in the building right now, I think, or maybe she's taking a break. I don't know. We'll see. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
I know we're not too far away from each other right now, but okay, so you are on the bright side right now. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Okay, so I texted you earlier today and I asked if you would be on the podcast to talk about something positive going on in your life. And chances are, I think you have something positive to talk about because you just got back from a very positive place. Tell us about it.
Yes. So I just spent the last week on PTO at the beach. I was down in Clearwater, Florida, and it was definitely just the escape I needed. I'm from San Diego, so I am very much missing the beach, not living 30 minutes from it. And so any chance I can get to go see the ocean, go to the beach is definitely worth it. So spent the week down in Florida with my boyfriend and some of his friends to celebrate his birthday. It was great. We had one day of not great weather because of some tropical rain, but then it was beautiful the rest of the week. Got to sit out by the ocean, read my book, go shopping. It was a great time.
That's always the best whenever you're able to go and not think about work, right?
Yeah, that too. Didn't have to think about work. So that was great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so fun, and I'm jealous. I'm like, I want to be at the beach. Did you get tan?
Oh, yes, I did. Probably a little bit sunburnt too, but that's okay. I'm so used to, like I said, being born and raised in San Diego. Like was just always tan all the time. So then I moved here and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't ever see the sun.
I know, with all this rain we've been having too. Also, my low battery thing came on right as you were saying. So that's what that sounded. But, okay, so I know that you just came fresh off of vacation. So spirits are always high, whenever you're fresh off of that. But what is some advice that you would like to leave people with about looking on the brighter side of things, or anything that you use every day to help you be more positive?
Yeah. I think just always like remembering every little blessing that we have in life. Like, you know, I think about all the times that I've been blessed in so many different ways. And, you know, I might be stressed about something going on at work or stressed about something outside of work. But truly, I try to look on the bright side and think about like, well, it could be so much worse and I need to be thankful for what I have. And so I just say always just try to remember the little blessings, like take time out of your day, you know, whether it's writing down what you're grateful for, or just even just thinking about all of those little blessings that you have. I think that helps you kind of have a positive mindset on things and just laugh, you know, don't be afraid to have fun, to just, you know, joke around and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, don't take life too seriously. That's
no,
fun.
no,
Yeah.
It's too short. It's too short.
I agree. Yeah, I love that advice of looking for the tiny things because those add up to big things too.
Exactly.
So,
They do.
Well, Alyssa, thank you for answering the phone when I called you. Thanks for being on. All right. Well, have a good rest of your day. I'll say bye before I leave.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, bye. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, every time that we call someone or that we have someone that we play a soundbite from, I feel like I always get a little boost, you know, a little nugget of something like, okay, yeah, that is a good reminder. Yeah.
Especially from Alyssa. She's such a positive light, I feel like, in the newsroom. I love her. She always has something fun or funky to say. So
What she said there about like don't take life too seriously. I mean, we're always joking with each other too. And it's good to have people in your life, to go back to what Dolphin said a couple of weeks ago, surround yourself with positive people, you know? That's, hey, we're stacking on the bright things. We're stacking on the good advice. So, well, this has been such a fun episode, getting to look on the bright side of all sorts of different things and noticing those pockets of goodness that are all around us. If we just look, we can find them. The more you look, the more you will find. So, Shelby, thank you for being here and making sure everything looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All righty. Well, we will see you again next week for episode 5. Thank you for joining us on episode 4 of The Bright Side. We hope you have a positively good week.